So yesterday in one of my early videos where I was trying to explain the difference between authorized and paid up capital, Shubham commented asking that bro, can you explain paid up capital in more depth and how is it different from called up capital and how do we calculate the face value? So let me explain all the four types of capital with an example. So let's consider that you're starting a business and you, while incorporating, decide that you will issue shares of 10 rupees each and you are issuing 1 lakh shares. So you are actually saying that you can issue shares worth 10 lakhs. So you have an authorized capital of 10 lakhs. Authorized capital means that how much shares can your company issue to anyone willing to invest in your company? And then you and your co-founder, let's consider there are two co-founders, and you both decide that to start the business you need 5 lakhs of capital, and you have 2 lakhs, your co-founder has 1 lakh. So you have the 3 lakhs ready and you sell the shares accordingly. So you have 3 lakhs of paid up capital ready. But you still need the 2 lakhs. So you go to an investor, shows him the plan, and tries to convince him to give you the money. The investor agrees, but on a condition that he would rather see the progress and will give you the money in four parts, let's say 50K every month. So you got the 5 lakh worth of shares issued, 2 lakhs to you, 1 lakh to your co-founder, and the remaining 2 lakhs to the investor. But the problem is that the investor has not yet paid the money. So the paid up capital is the amount for which you have already got the payment for which the shares had been issued. For the 2 lakhs that the investor is yet to pay is the called up capital. The called up capital is the amount of shares which the shareholders owe but are yet to pay, and which gets it to another story. Let's say that now you got your 5 lakhs, you are running your business, and after a year, the investor wants to cash out. So he wants his 2 lakhs back and is willing to give that back the shares. So you get your 2 lakhs back, and the company is actually buying back the shares. So now you have the original paid up capital of 3 lakhs, but since you have already issued the shares once, they cannot be decommissioned. So you still have the issued capital of 5 lakhs and paid up capital of 3 lakhs and zero called up capital. So let me summarize again. Authorized capital is the maximum amount of shares that a company can issue. Issued capital is the amount of shares that has been issued by the company. Whether those shares are actually in the market or the company has bought them back does not make a difference. Issued share capital is the amount of shares that have been issued. Paid up capital is the amount of capital that have already been paid for, which is the 3 lakhs that the two co-founders gave up initially. The called up capital during that 4 months initial period was the amount which the investor is yet to pay. The called up capital is the amount which the shareholder owes but is yet to pay. So now coming up to the face value. Do you remember that while incorporating, we told that each share would worth 10 rupees? Well, that is the face value or at par value. The face value is actually the value that the company decides what will be given if the share is sold back to the company. Now, it does not mean that the share will always be sold at 10 rupees in the market. The actual price of share vary on supply and demand. Let's say that your company is making up a profit of 10 lakhs in let's say year 2. So you have a paid up capital of 5 lakhs, and so you need to reserve at least 5 lakhs in your account, but you still have a profit of 5 lakhs. So the amount left over after the paid up capital is the amount that the company can give out as dividends. Now, whether the company gives out its whole profit as dividend is actually a management decision. There is no rules as to whether you need to actually distribute the whole dividend. At the same time, there is the market actually has, in most of the cases, has a share value of 10 rupees, but it is not necessary. Every company can decide its own share value, sorry, its own face value of the share. But since, like I said, that you have 5 lakhs of profit after the paid up capital, which you can give out as dividend. So every person, let's say you are willing to give up 100% of your profits every year. So every one of your person who owns a share gets the dividend. So you have the share which is worth 10 rupees that you will get when you are selling back the share to the actual company. But at the same time, you are getting 1 rupees per share as a dividend. So you will say that okay, I can buy that share for 15 rupees, as in 5 years span I will get the extra money that I paid as dividend. So it is worth 15 rupees. So that is actually the supply and demand concept. So if a company is valued more, it can be dividend stocks, or we can consider it from another perspective. Let's say my company is expecting a 50% growth for consistently for 5 years. That is very extreme example, but let's say I have been consistently growing with 50% every year. So someone would likely be interested to buy the share at maybe 25 rupees. So the market value can be at 20 rupees because they know that they will get the money as dividend, or if they buy at 20, someone else a year later would be willing to buy it at 25. So the market value is actually defined by supply and demand and how much the buyer is willing to pay, just like anything else in the market. And the face value is the actual original value that you stated while you were creating the shares. So hope I was able to explain you, and this was actually a very major reason that I moved to longer vlogs. It was getting me difficult to explain the whole concept in just 60 seconds. So I will continue with longer vlogs from my Ion, and we'll just post the excerpt on Instagram. And please keep commenting, as I personally read each and every comment, and I do will reply to you. Have a great day and goodbye.